Hello there, it is Matt, and I'm back with another video. And this one is going to be about a very good daily schedule breakthrough that I have achieved recently that I think would be beneficial to you. So I'm not really going to spend any time trying to convince you of this and the merits of it. I'm going to present what I'm doing, and then you just trying it for yourself will be a lot more persuasive than me going on and on for 4 hours about it. So I'm just going to get into the video. This breakthrough is necessary and all happen because I am building the 1000x leads funnel out for myself for a new business in 2025. And I was constantly reminded like how much stuff there actually is to do in there. You know, I'm the one who teaches this, but when you're just teaching it and you're reviewing it, you kind of don't really remember sometimes. But it's going to be a good reminder for myself to be more empathetic to people instead of just get it all done. So the struggle that I was having basically stems from a situation where I'm trying to make YouTube videos. I'm trying to write 1,000 to 2,000 words for a book. I'm trying to work on the products. I'm trying to do all of that kind of stuff. And by the time you do all that, it takes several hours, 3, 4, maybe 5 if you're really struggling that day. It's almost like the people and myself in the past years ago that have those 3-hour daily morning routines, right? They wake up, they meditate, they read, they journal, they exercise, they touch grass, they do whatever. And by the time that morning routine is up and done, you don't have any energy enough to do the rest of your actual work. And I've really been struggling with that, trying to do YouTube videos, trying to do all of this stuff. And by the time I'm done, it's 12 p.m., 1 p.m., and you're just kind of done for the day. So what I've done is basically switched it on its head because my priorities are making YouTube videos, writing tweets, sending newsletters, writing the book I'm writing, and that kind of stuff. And those have to get done. And that is why for about the last 6 months of 2024, I was doing those first because that would make sense, right? If it has to get done, you do it first. But that really wasn't working for me either. In terms of, I might get it done, I might not. You can look back at my YouTube channel for yourself and see when I was consistent, when I was not. And I think part of the reason it didn't work for me was psychological. Like, okay, you did all these habits, but you're not doing any of the meaningful work that drives the business forward. And therefore, the overall motivation is at zero, as well as, you know, it's kind of a situation where you're just grinding out these daily habits. There's no better tomorrow because there's nothing actually getting done. So what I've been doing instead, so my priorities, I'm just going to write them down, are YouTube, newsletter, content. We're just going to go with no content, not YouTube, but the other stuff, book, improving product. Those are my priorities. And those things I still need to be doing, and I'm doing them every single day. But basically the daily schedule I have been doing instead is hour 1, hour 2, hour 3, hour 4, hour 5, respond to school, which is my school community, respond to Slack, which is 1000x leads, write 1,000 words for book, YouTube, write 5 tweets, write newsletter. So we'll see that these hour 1, hour 2, hour 3, hour 4, those are hours with the timer. I don't have my timer on my desk with me to just like show you like this, but I'll just pull out my phone. Those are timed hours of work. So, oops, I accidentally pulled up the calculator here, not the timer. We can just bear with me here. Will forgive me for now. But what I've been doing is like these are real hours of work that we're doing with a timer, 60 minutes, do what you have to do, and then break. So I'm basically calling these hour 1, most important thing, and then hour 2, most important thing, hour 3, most important thing. Let's try not to get the formatting too messed up here. Hour 4, hour 5. So whatever my most important thing is, that could be one thing, or that could be one thing, and then that's done. It comes to the next thing, and the next thing, and the next thing. So basically right now, like in the past week, and I feel like I've done more in the past week than I did in the past 6 months of 2024, it was create my mastermind sales presentation, and then mastermind website, and then mastermind email flows, and then mastermind contract. Like these were the most important thing at any given time. Then it was set up all of your personal branding stuff, make your profiles look a lot better. Then the next thing was, if I just pull it in here, like make a content schedule and a personal brand schedule for 2024, including, when you're actually going to do all of this stuff. And then the next thing was, make a bunch of, templates. And then the next thing was, set up ManyChat. And then the next thing was set up Drippy. And then the next thing was set up Dripify and then Facebook ads. As long as you think, what is my most important thing, and just disregard the rest of the list, I think that's a lot better mental way to do it, as opposed to what I was trying to do before, at least. And then there's stuff where I have to respond to school, because that's one of my products every day. I have to respond to Slack. That's another one. I have to write 1,000 words for the book that I am writing. I don't know if you'll be able to see it on the screen. My OBS thing that I'm recording this is very zoomed in, but we'll just pretend. Then write 5 tweets, then write newsletters, and all of that kind of stuff. So this schedule, instead of doing this at the back, which is what I was trying to do for most of the last part of 2024, at least, put that X because that wasn't working for me. So basically inverted it. So when I wake up, all of my motivation and time and focus are on the most important things that will ensure tomorrow is better than today, because these are things that will get set up instead of the other way around. The next thing I want to talk about, and let's just check some of these off. So I've talked about some of these. We'll just pretend that we're done here. Next thing is the environment setup. So what I've been doing is clean desk, working inside, walk-in closet, think dark. And yes, I'm not joking. I'm obviously recording this video in the kitchen because I don't want to record it in the closet, but relax. Noise canceling headphones with podcast or same song on repeat. Podcast is mostly like white noise. I don't listen to it very voluminous, but still. Next thing I have been doing is water on the ground beside me. The next thing I have been doing is like inside the closet. There's no windows, there's no distractions, there's no anything. Turn phone off, plus outside of workspace. That the whole day I can access emergency stuff on my Mac. I don't need to have my phone in there. And these are the things that have really helped my environment get set up quite a bit. And the last thing I would have is most important things planned out in Microsoft To Do, which is an app. So that's really the difference. And I've always basically had a similar setup, but I've gotten back to it to a more ruthless degree, we'll just say. So I'm going to just check these off. For the productivity setup, what I've been doing is, this is kind of related here, this most important thing. Let's uncheck that. And then I have my timer, basically, which is I showed you earlier. And then I have my work form. So let's see what this looks like when I open it up. So let's go up a bit. Yeah, you can't see the top of it, but it'll do. So after every timed hour, I will write the date. So January 6th, hour 1, hour 2, hour 3. What did I do during that hour? And then rating my focus out of 10. And lately it's been a lot of very good focus hours. Like I'm scoring 9 or 10 out of 10 in almost everything. And the fun thing about this is when I submit this form, it sends an email notification to almost all of my most important loved ones and friends and clients and partners and that kind of stuff, just to prove that I've been actually working. And they're saying it's motivating them like crazy. So productivity setups, we're going to put 60-minute timer. I really like the headphones, and that's kind of the environment thing too, but we're just going to put it again. And that leads into the accountability. And that is, I'm going to go with the form here. So the form is the biggest piece of accountability that you have in at least what's working for me, because they're going to get emails with the form. Let's see if I can open it and see what that form looks like somewhere. So deleted items. So like right here, Matt has completed 1 hour of focused work with a timer. So January 6th, hour 6. I'm on hour 7 right now as recording this. What did you do? I responded to all that stuff. 10 out of 10 perfection. And here are my other work forms. I get sent to myself as well. Um, I think that's just how the app I'm using works. I just don't know otherwise, but I like to see it myself because then I can look back. And it's good because, especially your loved ones, your mom, your dad, your spouse, your best friend, your business partner, whoever, is going to get accustomed to seeing these things. And if they don't, it's kind of embarrassing, right? And I found that this kind of accountability is the best. And I think I'm going to put all of my clients' emails in this form, probably annoy the shit out of some of them, but they could always unsubscribe or something like that, just to motivate them, prove that I'm actually working and, practicing what I preach, because I practice and preach this method to every one of my clients. And it's just one of those things where if you're going to preach it, you got to do it yourself. And the final thing is planning. So this is going to be an interesting thing, but this is what's working for me. Only have one task at a time inside your tool. So if you looked at my tool, or you looked at my piece of paper, there would be one task on that, and that is the most important thing. Focus on most important thing only. And then you scratch it off and you write another most important thing, but you only have one thing on your list at every time, and the rest will either go into a different list if you're using an app, or you're just not going to write it down, or you're going to have it in your head or something like that. And I found, like, at least for me, doing these 5 hours of my most important, or without having the most important thing method, if that's what you want to call it, you just have a huge to-do list and then you just kind of go back to bed, right? But if you just have one thing on your to-do list, whether that takes 5 minutes or 5 hours, you just have it on there and then you can scratch it off and do the next thing. So I haven't posted a video in a while. I just wanted to record something to show what's working for me and why you're going to see a lot more from me in 2025. I hope this was helpful and you could use something like that for yourself. And thank you for watching.